Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to welcome you to the video cast. There is a law of nature that works in our life every single day, every moment of the day. Everything you do falls underneath this law. The law is called cause and effect. Everything you do will cause a certain effect. Everything you do will have a response, in a sense, to it. That how you think, how you feel, the words you say, the things you do, everything is going to cause something to happen. It's like throwing pebbles or stones into a pond. You can throw a big stone and get big ripples in the pond. You can throw little pebbles and you'll still get ripples in the pond, because you can't disturb the water without getting some kind of response. The same's true with life. Everything we do, we get a response. So the way to success, and the success-minded person has to think ahead to, what response do I want? How do I control my responses? Because indeed, you are in control of how you respond to things in life. Things are going to happen. I mean, that's just reality. Anybody who tells you that you can control your life so that nothing bad ever happens, or nothing disturbing ever happens, or nothing what you feel is out of your control ever happens, is lying to you. I mean, it's just not going to happen that way. Everything that could happen will happen. It just is life. What we do control is our response to it. You can't control the weather, you can't control the people who are around you, you can't control the economy, you can't control the government, you can't control anything. But you can control your response. How do these things affect you as an individual person? During the very dark days of World War II, when the Nazis were gathering up Jews in concentration camps, in one of these camps was a psychologist. His name was Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl knew that he was probably going to end up being executed. But he thought, as long as I'm in this concentration camp, I can control how I respond. So what did he do? He did research. He started looking at people to find out what it was that made some people survive and some people just gave up and died. What was happening in the lives of people that gave them hope to continue on in probably the worst circumstance? I mean, most of you who are watching this will never understand, will never ever be put in a situation, and I pray God that you never do, that is as horrible as those camps were. We'll never experience, we'll have bad things happen in our life, but believe me, it's a piece of cake compared to what these people went through. But Frankl knew that there was a way of developing that hope. He wrote about it in a book called Man's Search for Meaning. I do recommend that you get Frankl's book and that you read it. It'll change your life. But let me give you a warning ahead of time. It is not light reading. It is very difficult, because he goes into real detail of what these camps were like, and it is shocking and horrible, and it is beyond what most of us can even comprehend. But it is definitely worth reading, because it will change the way that you think about your life. Viktor Frankl said that between stimulus and response, that there is this space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies growth and our freedom. You see, people can imprison your body, but they cannot imprison your mind. Things can happen in your life that, in a sense, restrict you, or difficulties that you have to deal with. But it doesn't mean that those things control your response. In the worst of situations, you can remain positive. In the worst of situations, you can be determined to come out successful on the other side. I've seen it happen countless times in people's lives. I have sat with friends who have suffered greatly with cancer and knowing that their time is limited, and yet were the most positive, uplifting people that I've ever been around. How does that happen? Not just because they have a proper attitude, or that because that's just the type of person they are. No, they chose to be that positive person. They worked at it. It doesn't mean that the pain was any less. It doesn't mean that life was any better. It just meant they were in control. They never gave up their control of their response. Don't you either. Always be aware that you have control of your responses. You can be positive, you can be uplifting, you can be determined, you can succeed no matter what, because you choose your response and how you're going to deal with situations in your life. It's a law. It is. That's the way that it is. That's the way God created things. He didn't put everything in control. In his infinite wisdom, he decided he'd only give you control of one thing, and that is yourself. And you control your response. Make that response positive. And let me encourage you with this: to always be your best. Love God, have good manners, discover the unknown, and change your world. Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey again. I want to thank you for spending time watching the video cast. I do hope that these add value to you, that they encourage you, that they give you principles and information that you can use in your everyday life. That's our purpose for being here. The Growth Center was designed and created in order to help you to become the very best that you were created to be, to fulfill all of those dreams and desires that you've had, to accomplish your goals and your dreams. Now, I also want to encourage you to get other material besides this video cast, which, by the way, if right below here, you're going to see a little button that's called subscribe. I do hope that you subscribe to this video cast so that regularly when we put these up, you'll be notified and you can watch them. But I also want you to go over to the website, which is at www.johnpatrickhickey.com. There you're going to find books and other materials to help you to grow and to continue to pursue those goals. Again, that's www.johnpatrickhickey.com. And thank you again for joining us.